Yep.
Hey, Eric, how's it going, man? Welcome to the video, and thank you so much for volunteering to be interviewed by me. How's it going, man?
Absolutely. It's going great.
Yep. So just for reference, you're in my Modern Man program,
Yep.
and you've been in the program for what, like a year and a half now?
No, just it's going to be a year in October.
It's going to be a full year. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Very good. So it feels like longer than that,
I
doesn't it?
know. Yeah, I checked back and I thought, oh, it's like a year anniversary coming up. Yeah.
Yep. Very good. And so you've been in the program for about a year now, and you have seen some really good progress, obviously, and you've got a lot of things going on as far as, professionally. You've been traveling a decent amount as well. And I think that your story and your journey is something that probably a lot of people could relate to as far as what they might be dealing with or going through right now, and they may be able to learn something from your experience. So I figured it would be great to just kind of go into detail as far as what you've done over the last year and what kind of things you've been able to accomplish. um,
Sure.
but what, I guess, if you could just give a little bit of background about yourself, like, where are you based out of right now, or
Where?
usually, and what do you kind of do day to day? Like, what's your schedule
All
like?
right.
Are you running around all day, or are you sitting down?
um, no 2 days are alike for me, first of all. I'm a psychologist who specializes in talent development and giftedness across the age span. I'm especially interested in research and am involved in a bunch of research projects at different universities. My home base is at Purdue University near Indianapolis, Indiana. But I also have projects going on the West Coast with UCLA, down on the South Coast with Houston. So I travel a great deal. My work sometimes entails very long days.
Mhm.
We're talking 16, 17, 18-hour days, simply because you have to, if you're gathering data, you have to sort of access people when they're accessible. You
Mhm.
can't, you can't just say, you have to meet me on my terms. You have to meet them on their terms.
Mhm.
So I am very, very busy. I love my job. I love my work. I do a lot of writing as well. I do a lot of traveling, as you mentioned, Jesse. So
Yeah.
trying to balance my own health and growth against a busy work schedule, against a family life, um, with a significant other and two dogs that are
Yeah.
fun but crazy,
Mhm.
uh, makes for a busy life. Um, I came to Modern Man. I found you on Facebook by accident. I'm not a big Facebook guy,
Yeah.
but I was stumbling through Facebook. I was actually in an airport at the time. I don't remember which one.
Mhm.
And I found Modern Man, and I thought, this sounds like what I need. Um, and it has turned out to be exactly what I needed. I need, if you will, the commiseration of colleagues. Just, just for me to work with a trainer isn't going to work. I've
Mhm.
had trainers before. For example, I was based on a field research project in Vancouver, British Columbia, a few years ago. And I was in and out of there every 6 weeks for extended periods of time. And I actually had a trainer in Vancouver.
Mhm.
Great guy, knew what he was doing, a lot like you, really,
Mhm.
but it didn't work because the minute I left him, it was like, Eric, you're on the treadmill of work and life, and there's
Yeah.
no time for anything, and there was um,
Like accountability or
nobody to,
structure outside of the
exactly, no
session. Yeah.
structure, nobody to report to, no support network.
Yeah.
And I discovered through your program that not only did I need it, I benefit from it. So
Yeah.
having a group of other guys who, certainly we're all different, But we all share in common one important thing, and that is we have a goal to improve our health through better physical fitness,
Yeah.
through good nutrition, through good mindset. Um, and you've not only instilled that in all of us. I mean, you're a masterful teacher. I mean, I have
Thank you.
doctoral students. I know what it means to be a teacher. You
Uh-huh.
are a masterful teacher.
I'll
You've
take it.
taught me, no, it's true. You've taught me the basics that I need to put into action on a day-to-day basis to, again, help me get leaner, help me get stronger, help me eat right. I
Mhm.
mean, I was a rotten eater. I was never a fast food junkie, but I mean, I have a sweet tooth that won't
Yeah,
quit. I mean,
me
I
too.
can't pass a cheesecake factory without stopping. I
Yeah.
can't pass a donut shop without stopping. I mean, I have the mindset, frankly, of a sedentary, even though I'm not sedentary, of a sedentary fat man. I do. That's my mindset. I could
Yeah.
probably be 300 pounds, I imagine. So you've helped me find how to walk this path.
Mhm.
And with the support network of the other members of this group, it has been so life changing for me. I can't even begin to tell you. In fact, as an example, I was griping and moaning and complaining to my life partner about how I was having trouble really being attentive. This was about half a year ago, and
Mhm.
really maintaining my activity with the group. And I said, maybe I had to just quit. And he said, like hell, you are not going to quit.
Mhm.
He said, don't you realize how important this is to you? And I thought, and it only took a half a minute. And I said, you're right. I can't
Mhm.
quit. I mean, this is part of my existence now. I
Yeah.
mean, if you came to me and said, I need you to leave the group because you're a pain in the derriere or whatever, I would say, no, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
You can't make me. Um, because it really is part of the fabric of who I am now.
Mhm.
And sustaining my energy, my attentiveness to detail, because it is detail. It's work to be in better shape.
Yeah.
And anybody who says it isn't is frankly
It's hard.
lying.
It's effort. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just go to the drugstore and buy a bottle of something and drink it and expect to be in good shape.
Yeah.
And all these ads that are like that are just fake.
Yeah.
Um, so
Money
I mean, it's
grabs.
work. Yeah,
Yeah.
but just like work, this kind of work, which on some level is more important, because if this level of work isn't intact and isn't on point, all the other work's going to fall apart because I'm going to be in lousy health. I'm going to feel bad.
Yeah.
So this is critical. It's foundational.
Yeah.
And the men in this group, along with your leadership and your instruction, really sustain me.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like I can reach out to anybody in this group
Yeah.
for answer to a question, for, just maybe an uplifting comment,
Yeah.
because we all have our moments where we're feeling like, we're really not doing so well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. This group to me is like a keystone. If you think of a keystone in a new building, it's
Yeah.
like a keystone in my life.
And it's true that you can have the best workout ever with a personal trainer, and it's like still very important what happens in the other 5 days of the week, right? Like even if you work out with a trainer twice a week. And that's something that I realized, like, because obviously I'm a personal trainer and I used to work with a whole lot more clients in person myself. And I realized as I started the Modern Man program and it kind of overlapped with, me also working with in-person clients, like the guys in the Modern Man program are getting way better results pretty much all the time. Whereas the people I was working with in person are still getting, the same workouts that I'm giving them, are still, I'm still telling them to eat the same way, but it was like way more hit or miss. Like every other person would, just fall apart when I wasn't with them, right? And they
Yep.
just would eat whatever they want, and it would totally be like, it was almost as if because they spent an hour with me working out, they sort of expected that that was enough for the whole week, that they didn't
Yep.
have to commit to something when I wasn't there. So I've actually started at this point, and now with COVID as well, pretty much only coaching people online, and not because I dislike training people in person, but just because the people that I coach online are getting like way, way better results. And I think that group aspect of it that you are talking about is a great, I guess a great example as to why that may be. You've got the workouts that I've designed for you. You've got the nutrition plan that we, are going over every week. But the consistency of having to show up in the group almost every day, right? No one's going to do it every day, or no one's going to check Facebook every single day, or maybe they are. But knowing that you've got that support system and people that are on the same journey as you makes it so much more consistent, and almost, I guess, motivates you to show up each day, even if you didn't really want to. So that was a great explanation, and thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
So now, what I guess going off of that, like, what kind of goals did you have for yourself when you came to me a year ago, that you wanted to achieve, and what kind of progress have you been able to make, in the year that we've worked together so far?
All right. When I found Modern Man, I had already lost some weight on my own, and I'm was very much interested in getting back closer to what I used to be. I was athletic when I was younger,
Hmm.
and life and age and everything took its toll, and my middle was way too big. So I cut that down a bit. But I thought, I really need to get back with a trainer. And like I said, I'm really most intrigued with the fact that not only do I have a trainer in you, but I also have this group of guys who are just as committed and maybe more committed than I am.
Yeah.
And on some level, they serve as models. Um, so my goals were pretty much about weight loss, continuing to lose weight, but not just that, but to reform my body more like
Right.
it naturally was instead
Hmm.
of the fat part,
Right.
um, and becoming stronger, developing lean muscle.
Yeah.
Those were primarily my goals, and it was all centered on health. I am gosh, it's been 17 years. I was diagnosed with leukemia, and it was sudden onset, a brand called hairy cell, um, because that's the way the cells look under a microscope. And it literally, I woke up with it one morning. I mean, it
Wow.
was that bizarre.
Hmm.
Rushed into the emergency room. They spent a few days trying to figure out the diagnosis. And then I was in intensive care for, I don't know, good 10 days, then regular hospital for about 3 months, and then home health for 6 months. 17 years ago, and I was pronounced cured. So health, I realized then, because up till then, my health was like, yeah, whatever,
Hmm.
I'm fine. Um, Health became more of an important focus in my life.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
I've tried to be healthy, but as I already described, I have a horrible sweet tooth.
Yeah.
So I would be very likely to gain weight very fast because I would be not eating right.
Right.
So what's so important to me in this group, and it feeds my goals, is that not only do you have a well-versed trainer who's good at informing me and keeping me on track, but I have a full nutrition plan that goes along with those workouts.
Yeah.
The nutrition plan adjusts to where I need to be in order to meet my goals.
Yeah.
And then, yet again, I'm going to mention everybody else in this group. They've got the same thing going on that's fine-tuned to their personal goals.
Yep.
But, at some level, our goals overlap. And that is back to the point that we're all trying to be healthier, leaner, stronger, with a strong mindset.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can't beat this program for me.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. And, it's true that like everyone, it's kind of interesting that everyone is, following their own, obviously more personalized program. So everyone's not doing the same thing with nutrition, and everyone's got slightly different workouts that are appropriate for them, especially during this COVID situation where some people are at home with some dumbbells, some people are at home with nothing, others are back at the gym. So like everyone needs their own specific program that's going to get them to their goals with what they have available. And it's interesting because most of the guys in the group say the same thing that you said, as far as I had already lost some weight previously, and I just really wanted to take things to the next level. So when, since you had lost some weight initially, what was the main reason for jumping on board and joining? Because maybe someone would think, or someone would even say, I'm already losing weight, or I've already lost some weight, so why would I go out and try to take it a step further? Do you remember why you did that?
Yeah, totally. Because losing weight alone wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have no desire to be a stick figure.
Right.
I mean, I could keep losing weight, and being a stick figure. I don't want to be.
No one really wants that.
No, I mean, exactly. I still have this delusion that I'm going to get my abs from like when I was 20 years old back.
It takes time.
I don't know if I'll get there or not, but you know what? I already have way more definition than I did when I joined the program.
Yeah.
So I see physical changes that just losing weight would not accomplish. Now you could say, okay, what if you went and worked out on your own? Well, I've learned from you form that I was doing so many things way wrong. I thought I knew, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of interesting, just discussions we have in our group about form and maximizing what you're doing with your workout. I mean, you might get some byproduct, but if you're really doing it right and your form is correct, you're going to get maximal byproduct, maximal outcomes. So, I mean, all those things were important. I guess at heart, too, to be honest, and this sounds kind of like a cheesy comment, I guess, but I'd like to think I'm a lifelong learner, that I believe I'm always learning. Well, I had a lot to learn about working out. I mean, I thought I knew just because I had trainers. I didn't know squat, really, because I did what you described, Jesse. I basically said, okay, you're my trainer. I'm going to be with you this amount of time twice a week or whatever it was. And that's
I don't want to think about it when you leave.
Right, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm back to Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, this to me is a commitment to myself.
Right. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And the cool part about it is I'm committing to myself, but I've got a good guide in you, and I have great support network in my colleagues in the group.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, it's as I said, it's ideal, at least for me.
Cool.
And
you're right. Like it's not for everybody, right? It definitely is not.
It's not.
And not everyone likes to interact with other people, or likes to even support other people, or be, outwardly supportive in that way. And in that regard, it is different. It is, more of a community as opposed to just, me and you, the client and the coach. There's more interactions there that are available to you. I actually do have some guys who aren't on Facebook, right? And they aren't in the private group, and it is just one-on-one. And, they have seen really good progress as well. But as far as the group goes, I find that the people who are in the group get so much more value than those who aren't. And as far as the education piece that you mentioned, they learn so much more as well, because you get a video from me every day, and we have these coaching calls every week, and there's just a lot more education to it. So I'm glad that you feel that way, and I'm glad that you are someone who's gotten a lot of value from it.
Totally.
And so over the last year, you definitely have seen more definition, and you definitely have improved your body and your physique. And I think you're realizing that you're starting to train properly as well on your own, which is a huge accomplishment. And I think you've also lost like 15 or maybe 20 pounds or something by now?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
So, I mean, clearly I'm on the weight loss journey. Right now, I'm actually in a bulk up phase. And that also was something I did not know. No one had ever taught me that by doing that, you're more likely to fine tune your results. You end up being able to be more developed, more defined.
Yeah.
See, I didn't
build more
know
muscle.
that. Yeah. So, I mean, if at first blush, if someone came to me and said, okay, to be more defined and have lean muscle, Eric, you need to gain weight in between losing weight, I would have said, BS.
Yeah.
That can't be. But it's true, and it works.
Yeah. And I think that's important. Some people are so stuck on eating restrictively and just pushing year after year to try to lose more weight, when the truth is that if you're not giving your body the proper fuel, right, adequate amount of protein, even carbs, to allow your body to have more fuel and to train harder and to get stronger and ultimately to build some more muscle, then you're going to look like that stick figure. When you eventually get to your weight loss goal, you're not going to look any better. You're just going to be lighter. And if you can alternate these different phases of training and eating, right, like a fat loss phase, a muscle building phase, we've talked about like a body recomposition phase where you're not really gaining or losing much weight, but you're focusing on, building some muscle and losing some fat kind of at the same time. Those are the type of phases that are going to lead to having a better body and, better aesthetics, which a lot of us are important to us, in the long run. And it's not just always about scale weight. But I think you're doing a great job. And I think that you have learned a whole lot about, you were starting off intermittent fasting, and you eventually transitioned to tracking your calories as well. And then from there, now you're tracking your macros. So you've actually probably learned a massive amount about nutrition over the last year just from doing that.
Yeah.
But do you have any preference as to which kind of style of eating was your favorite?
Actually, I like tracking macros.
Yeah.
I really do. Again, before doing all this, if you had asked me, do you want to track macros so that you really are on point with what your nutrition looks like related to your workouts, related to your goals and so forth, I would have said, no way, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
But doing it, I love it because I feel like I'm eating well and I'm eating right.
Yeah. And not only can you eat flexibly, right? Like
totally.
You're able to fit that donut in when you want to, because as long as it adds up to the macros I've given you, you're in the clear, right?
Exactly.
But also it's a nice way to pretty much know for a fact, like as long as I come close to these numbers that he's given me, that I pretty much know I'm going to see results and know that I'm going to see progress. Whereas a lot of people are kind of trying something out and then hoping that, they're going to see progress. And that's no way to create results for yourself is hoping. So, I think you've done a great job, and you've been open and open to new ideas, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, tracking calories, tracking macros when you would have never thought you would. And, that's, a big part of the journey is like, are you willing to try new things? Are you willing to adjust what you're doing and tweak and maybe try things that are a little uncomfortable? And you've done that. And that's why you've, done so well and been doing, so good even throughout this quarantine period. So, it's been a pleasure having you in the group.
Thank you. Quarantine's been another layer of stuff we've all had to deal with. As you know, I really do miss the gym.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable going to the gym, especially given my previous health condition.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of people where I am still going unmasked and, like flocking together, and so I don't go.
It's not worth the risk.
Yeah, it's not for me. So, I've got my home dumbbells, which work.
Yeah.
And
same ones I've got.
About yeah. And I'm thinking about adding some other equipment. I'm more or less building my own home gym.
Yeah,
so
we might as well.
Yeah. And again, the uplift I always got from the gym, I figured out, for me at least, was more about the setting of having other people engaged in the same kind of work I was. And I can still have that with a home gym and this group, because I know that there's still people in my group doing the same kind of journey I am.
Right. Absolutely. And sorry, I keep moving around. Nigel's over here trying to eat the curtains.
It's all good. It's all good. Listen, we have 2 dogs. I know.
He just woke up from his nap, but that's awesome, man. And like I said, it's been amazing having you in the program, even just for this first year. And it's pretty much everything I wanted to go over with you. I think people who are in a similar position, or anyone who's looking to, get in better shape or transform their body, whatever it is, can really probably get some motivation from watching this and learn some things about maybe the journey maybe that they need to take. So I appreciate you sharing your experience. Is there any final words that you have, whether it's about, say, I guess, to somebody who's watching this, maybe, considering starting their transformation or, struggling? Is there any final words you might have?
Again, this may at some level sound a little bit cheesy, but I really do mean this. If you want to be everything you can be, sounds like an old army ad, doesn't it? But if you want to be everything you can be, you've got to spend some work on yourself. And even though on some level, some people would misinterpret that as self-aggrandizement or selfish, in the end, it isn't. And the truth is I'm a better father to our kids. I'm a better partner to my significant spouse.
Yep.
I'm a better friend to my friends when I feel good, healthy. I feel good about myself. I have a good mindset, positive mindset, outlook on life, even in a pandemic. Mm-hmm. And honestly, trying to separate your own personal development from all the roles you play in life is not wise. You've got to spend some work on yourself. And you know what? This work, the way you've set this up, the fact that we have colleagues with us in it, makes it fun. Yeah,
that's true. And that's very well said. And I think that it's true that a lot of people think to get in great shape, I have to have a spouse that is also totally into working out, or I have to, quit my job or get a different job that allows me to work out more. Or they're thinking that all these things around them are going to make it harder for them to work out or to transform their body or get in shape. But really, if you're doing it right, like you're saying, if you're following strategies that fit with your life and your schedule, it should elevate the other areas, right? Like you said, you're going to be a better parent or a better significant
Yep.
other. You're going to be better at your job because you have got more energy. You're more focused. You've got more energy. So I completely agree with that. And there's, plenty of examples just in the group of guys who feel the same way.
Totally.
But yeah, man, thank you so much for
You're
sharing
welcome.
your experience.
My
Um,
pleasure.
and yeah, if anyone's watching this and, this resonates with, what you're thinking and what you want to do as well, feel free to reach out to either of us, me or Eric.
Yeah,
And, we're happy to share more about,
absolutely.
what may be best for you. But other than that, I'm going to sign off now. So have a great rest of your day, Eric, and I'll talk to you later. All right.
You too, Jesse. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye now.